G'day, guys. We're doing something a little bit different today. This episode is without Dan, but with Boon. Boon and I just killed Dan, so his body's at the bottom of the staircase at the moment.
Finally.
Yeah, he was a bit of a fucking prick, wasn't he?
It took us long enough.
Yeah. He came to Melbourne and we cut his throat.
Yeah.
So Dan has been usurped by Boon. It's all part of his plan. We were concocting it. When I say, hey, Boon, come on the podcast, we're going to go to Asian Blokes. We'll get rid of Dan eventually.
Yeah, I think I was waiting for the podcast to actually, build a bit of momentum and, when you guys are ready to, make it big, kill Dan.
So you won't be seeing Dan anymore. No, Dan, I guess Dan's taking a break, or I just didn't invite him on this episode. But welcome to Asian Blokes. Whatever Dan says is his intro. We cover Asian shit. I've done like 50 or 60 episodes of this, and I've just forgotten Dan's spiel. I think I've listened to it so many times that I'm just like, oh yeah.
Movies, music, food, whatever we're feeling at the time, really.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, today we're doing another kind of music-based episode. Boon brought this up to me a little while back when we were having dinner, and we're like, why not do a podcast about Asian metal? And I thought, that's a really good idea. It's not something that is often talked about. Before we get into the Asian metal aspect of it, I wanted to draw the question to you, Boon, is like, what is metal to you?
What is metal?
What is metal? Because it's quite broad.
Yeah, it is quite broad. I mean, and I think in the context of this podcast as well, we're putting it under the umbrella of Asian metal, but really it's like Asian music, heavy music, right?
I'd say more in the sense of like Asian hard rock or even just Asian rock. It's
I guess the reason why I brought it up initially was people see K-pop and J-pop as this overarch when they think of Asian music, which is good and bad.
Chinese ballads.
Which are great.
Metal's not usually associated with the Asian identity, is it?
It's not associated with the Asian kind of diaspora, but at the end of the day, metal and rock music is really popular in Asia, super popular. There's so many bands, there's so many people that listen to it, and even I know you lived in Japan for a couple of years, Thavy. Being there, you can feel that there's an appreciation for that kind of music.
I did meet a couple of friends who went to a lot of these underground gigs and stuff. Unfortunately, I never went to many of those because I was a poor ass English teacher living paycheck to paycheck. Do you remember the time that we went to one of the bars? We went to a bar and we met this Asian metal singer, and he was wearing a Fear Factory t-shirt. Do you remember that dude? Long hair.
I think I remember that. Was that the one in Sanganjaya?
Yeah, it was in Sanganjaya.
I think I remember this night.
And it was like a rock bar.
Yeah.
And we were pretty friendly with the bartender because Dan knew the guy there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he was giving us the finger and shit, but it was in good faith.
That guy was really cool, and he was metal as fuck. I remember I asked him to do a metal growl, and he did it. And I was like, "Damn, man, that's dope."
Yeah, you're pretty good at those.
Not so much these days anymore. I'm afraid. Not after all my karaoke days listening to, I'm singing, "Bring Me the Horizon" and Slipknot. those times.
But I guess the point we're trying to make is that there isn't another side to, I guess, Asian music besides the bubblegummy pop side that we often see on mainstream media and on YouTube and stuff like that. Not to say that that's not fun and good, but there's a lot of great bands out there in the rock metal space from all over Asia. We're not just talking Japan, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess let me backtrack. Going back to your question, how did we get into metal?
How did we get into metal?
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
Like I guess the typical Asian kid growing up in Australia would probably not really listen to metal music at all.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, because these days the kind of overarching Asian sound is probably K-pop, yeah. And I like K-pop. I mean, I've already done fucking reaction videos to K-pop, so like, there's no shade on that. But I think when I was growing up, the overarching sound was sea ballads. Because remember...
Yeah, so like Jay Chou and shit were really big back then, weren't they?
I'm not sure it was you and Dan.
It wasn't me. Like, I don't think I've ever... I couldn't name you a single Jay Chou song, which is actually a bit sad,
Well, we'll just pin it on Dan. But I remember Dan was pretty interested in that kind of music, and he showed, like... I think when we went LAN or stuff, or like when I was in the ending days of high school, like I remember... You know, a few of us and a group of us would be talking about like sea ballads, and I was like, yeah, didn't really like it, to be honest. Like I just thought it was a bit, I don't know.
They're very toppy.
Yeah,
but that's the appeal, right?
Yeah, because you and I grew up in like the 90s, like the rage of the 90s.
Yeah,
when nu metal was a thing.
It's weird, isn't it, that you right now are like part of a podcast about Asian culture and stuff like that. But growing up, I wouldn't say that either of us were really immersed in like I suppose like a really Asian upbringing.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like in terms of pop culture, like I was really into anime in high school, but I wasn't really my high school was predominantly a white high school, so I was into a lot of like these really heavy, like into this really heavy music. And I remember pretty fondly, like I had two friends particularly where I would talk to music about all the time. And at first they were a bit surprised that I was into like, what was I listening to? Slipknot and Korn, and like, Tool,
like Drowning Pool,
Pool. So they, like I remember we'd spend math class just talking about Tool for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
they were pretty surprised. And then when some other like group of friends, they saw my CD Walkman case, and they were flipping through all my burnt CDs, and I had all this like really heavy shit. Like, early Deftones and Slipknot.
Dude.
They were like, oh, Thavy, man. Like, I didn't really know you were into really heavy stuff. And then one of my friends, he actually got upset at that comment. He's like, why do you think Tavy's not into, like, heavy shit? He's, like, one of the heaviest cunts that I know. And, I was really surprised at that.
That's, like, quite woke for the time. It's, like, early 2000s.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. It didn't bother me because I was really into the sound, and I probably did have angst, but that's like early thousands, late 90s. But I never fought anyone over my music. I was just like, I enjoyed the sounds.
I think when people talk about angst and metal, right? It's more about the persona and like the themes of the music, but it's not like anybody actually legitimately lives that.
Yeah.
I guess like most people who listen to music, they're like quite timid, if anything.
I think so, yeah.
Timid and non-confrontational for the most part. Different to you. Like I wouldn't say that I went to high school in a predominantly like white high school or anything like that.
Yeah, you were at the bougie high school.
Oh no, I wasn't. I went to Brunswick Secondary College, which is not bougie, the opposite for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I started like learning bass guitar.
Yeah.
And I think from there, like, what was really big at the time was nu metal.
Oh, nu metal.
Yeah. So like, if you think about early 2000s, like nu metal was probably like nu metal was huge. We're talking about like Limp Bizkit, Rollin'. We're talking about like
Seven Dust,
Spineshank, Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, which is probably arguably the greatest nu metal album of all time. But this all came out early 2000s, and this is when I guess I was starting high school and starting to like learn instruments. So as a byproduct of that, I guess I got into metal. I think that was probably the gateway. If you remember, there's this really bad Australian band at the time called 28 Days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Rip It Up?
Yeah, Rip It Up. Everybody rip it up.
Yeah.
Yo, check this style.
They're pretty much diet Australian Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, I think so.
And like, yeah, they were really bad. That was probably their only song. But I remember that was the first song I ever learned how to play on any instrument. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I got into metal, because I think nu metal was so big at the time. I was learning bass guitar, which is a core instrument in, I guess, like this genre. So I guess all of the stuff I was listening to, I was kind of thinking about, oh, can I learn this? Could I try and learn how to play that? And I guess that's how this fascination with metal music kind of came about. I guess it's when we were around, like, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, around that age.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, like, any younger than that, you probably haven't developed that palette for, like, anything different, right?
Well, I remember my very first taste of metal was, I won't mention his name, but I think you know who I'm talking about. When I was hanging out in his bedroom a lot when I was like maybe 6 or 7, and he had all these like Metallica posters on his room.
Yes.
And he was really into like
One of
hard
our
rock at the time.
quote unquote cousins, basically.
Yeah. One of the cousins. He's a fair bit older than us.
He's probably 40.
Yeah. I think he recently turned 40. But if you listen to this, like, you know, musical influence, man. But I remember he was into like Metallica and Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy stuff for a young kid at the time.
Yeah.
But you weren't intimidated, right? It was like, this is fucking cool.
I thought that was the epitome of masculinity at the time, man. Like, I was really into that shit because I'd always been interested into like monsters and stuff when I was a kid. So I'm seeing all this like dark imagery. I'm like, this is what a fucking adult like should be. Like,
it's inherently quite dark, the themes, and I mean, like, it's cool that it's kind of coming full circle and it's being appreciated again by, like, I guess this generation with the advent of, like, I don't know, shows like Stranger Things, like kind of showcasing like classic metal songs, and showing how like fucking badass they are and stuff like that. I really appreciated that, even though, like, you know how I feel about the new season of Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it. I haven't been seen Beyond season 2. But I don't know, but I know that they've showcased a lot of
so one of the I guess like Running Up That Hill was a really big feature of part 1 of the latest season, and of season 2 I guess Master of Puppets was like the song of that season. And I mean, like, I guess a lot of people nowadays, they wouldn't even fucking know what Master of Puppets was, even though it was like, it's one of Metallica's biggest songs, like, easily. It
is kind of strange to me because it's such like, you know, second knowledge to us that these bands exist. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's Korn, it's Metallica, it's, you know,
Korn with a backwards backwards R.
Backwards R and a K. But like a lot of people will probably not know it, and I wouldn't be surprised now if there's like a, you know, group of Gen Zers who don't know who Red Hot Chili Peppers are.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like that.
Red Hot Chili Peppers are touring with fucking Post Malone.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So, like, I guess that's probably the gateway for a lot of them. Anyways, we probably need to Asian-fy this.
Yeah. Well, before, I just wanted to talk about one more thing. You mentioned that a lot of the, you know, a lot of the metal themes are dark. Why do you think it's good to listen to metal? Like, there's a lot of songs about, like, you know, suicide, depression, very aggressive songs about beating up, you know, someone. Like, why is this good to listen to?
Well, look, okay, if you listen to hip hop back at the same time, take hip hop during the same era that nu metal was around, the themes in hip hop and like R&B music were arguably worse than rap music. So, like, I think a lot of the time, once people reach that age, like 13, 14, 15, where they can kind of think for themselves and like their taste, they can decipher that this is just music. This person is just singing about something that they I don't know, like value or even in some cases like play a character or create a persona.
Yeah.
Yep. So at that point, like when you're 13 or 14, you know that already.
Yeah.
And whether you're listening to metal, whether you're listening to like Ja Rule rapping about like tits and ass, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, it's just music at that point. I like the sound of this. Like, I can dance to this. Or like in the case of Linkin Park, I can fucking headbang to this.
Yeah.
Or like, in my case, like, I can fucking like learn how to play this on bass or guitar.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, it's not to say I don't give a shit about like the lyrics or the themes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, people consume music for like, quote unquote, entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Whether like the themes, in my opinion, a lot of the time they're secondary to like how it quote unquote sounds, right? Like, this sounds fucking sick. I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And then, this song also has really like awesome lyrics. Or like, oh shit, this song's actually like quite dark. Or like this song is, like I can't relate to having 10 girls in the club with ice around my neck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not realistic. Like, most people don't see their music as a projection of themselves.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, it's music. So I think like, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Because like, I think for me, it's always been, you know, music or films. It's kind of like tapping into, or it's a chance to tap into emotions or feelings that you wouldn't regularly show, especially like anger and rage, I guess, because I'm a pretty like quiet person.
Of course.
So it's not something that I express very often, but when you listen to music, it's something that you can kind of identify with. And I think, you know, there's been like articles and stuff that said, you know, metal listeners are usually pretty good at like deciphering like heavier emotions because they've expressed themselves through the music. But you know, there's always like there's always a danger where someone is going to take the music too literally or the films too, you know, follow it too much to a T. So there's always a risk. So there's no like safety net. But I think, you know, there should never really be like a censorship.
Of course, it's like the video games argument, right? Like, just because you play video games, violent video games, doesn't mean you're going to turn out to be like a fucking high school shooter. Like, that's kind of the argument back over there. It's like this guy fucking played Modern Warfare and he shot up a school. Bro, every fucking kid in America plays Modern Warfare. I mean, like, what you're trying to say is like your music doesn't really define like who you are, really, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like. Yeah, I mean, if 2000s rap and R&B defined people, like we'd have a lot of pretty like
a lot of drive-bys going on.
Not just drive-bys, we'd have a lot of really like really ordinary people walking the streets.
Yeah, that's very true.
And it's weird because most of the nicest people I know are like listen to like metal. So it's weird, yeah.
You and I have gone to a lot of metal gigs together in our 20s. Why is it you think that not a lot of Asian people like metal? Because we know a lot of Asian people here, but when it comes to a lot of the metal gigs, it'd either be me calling you up and saying this band is in town, or you calling me up saying this band is in town. We'd go with Nat every now and again because she had a pretty like heavy taste.
I mean,
but
like,
other than that, there wasn't too many that we could rely on going. We went to one with Dan, went to Soundwave, and he did surprisingly well. I expected Dan to be like ragdolled. Like, where's Dan? He's like, help me! And it's just like floating in the air. But like, why do you think that's the case? Like, why
I don't
is
know. I think it's I think a lot of it has to do with like upbringing, because I think a lot of Asian in our age bracket, for example, in like the 30 to 35 age bracket, they would have grown up with parents who were kind of funneling them in a certain direction career-wise, and the metal scene would have been seen, the metal music and this metal scene, emo would have been seen as like quite
a little bit transgressive.
Yeah, and rebellious at the time. And I think naturally, like, because of, I don't know, I hate saying this, but like, it's because I feel like it's a cop-out, but because of a lot of our upbringings, it was harder for us to go, like, fully embrace that scene. Yeah. It was kind of just something that we were listening to and then we really enjoyed. It's like, I couldn't become a fucking like emo scene kid. Like in the early 2000s, you couldn't become a goth. Like, it would have been RIP, man.
I listened to a lot of this music in secret. Just because of how like demonic some of the songs sounded. And, you know, I'm not going to be listening to the first Slipknot album in front of my parents.
That's pretty heavy stuff, the first Slipknot album.
It was really like, you know, I mean, I mentioned it on another episode, like when we listened to the hot dog flavored water with my parents, and I was swiftly reprimanded and took the album back to the store. You know,
this is a Limp Bizkit album, by the way, people.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the shitter Limp Bizkit albums.
Yeah. Limp Bizkit, fun live band. We did see them at Big Day Out.
They're fucking awesome, man.
But like, Significant Other was probably their best.
Yeah, Significant Other is
by
awesome
a long
album.
way.
But there's a bit of a renaissance at the moment with Limp Bizkit, with the Woodstock documentary and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But like,
I can see that,
that's not related at all. But go watch the Woodstock documentary. It's really good.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of like, let's just broaden it up a bit, like with, you know, Asian metal and rock. You know, I was thinking today, like, what are the first groups that come to mind when I think of Asian metal? And for me, it's like Crossfaith. I remember when we listened to Crossfaith and I was like, oh, dude, you got to check these guys out. They're fucking badass.
Yeah.
I think of Crossfaith. I think of Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake are fucking dope.
Yeah. I think of Band-Maid. I remember you introduced me to Band-Maid. I'm like, there's like these girls dressed in maid outfits and like playing, you know, instruments, and I thought like they were going to be very gimmicky.
No,
but I'm like, oh, these girls are fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like,
it was actually sick. They make really good music even now. Like, and when you watched what's that, Thrill? Was that the song?
Yeah, Thrill was their wasn't their debut song, but it was the first song that you showed me.
That was the first song I heard from Band-Maid, Thrill, and it was awesome because at the time I think it came out. Thrill came out at a weird time in heavy music. Because
2014?
Yeah, I think because around 2014, a lot of bands were going for that gent, like really progressive, like heavy sound. And like Band-Maid were like a throwback to just like really catchy, like rock music. Yeah, and there's actually a term for that style of music in Japan called kawaii metal or kawaii rock.
Band-Maid's not really kawaii metal, though. Like, kawaii metal is obviously baby metal.
They're the ones that coined it. Archetypal example of that.
Baby metal has a lot of J-pop influences, and that's like with its electronica. But like, you know, the girls would sing in very like really cutesy voices, and then it'd be contrasted with their backing group.
Yeah,
I think there's a name for them. I don't remember what it is, but
they're really awesome. They're
fucking awesome. Yeah, Baby Metal. Yeah, Baby Metal will probably be the first J metal band that most people would think of when they think of.
If I talk about Asian metal, I think Baby Metal would be the band that I'd be like, oh, have you ever heard of Baby Metal?
Yeah.
I think that would be the band for me. But like, it's weird, right? Because they're an idol group, aren't they?
Yeah, they were pitched as an idol group. Yeah, and it was just a thing. I think the company was just like, let's try something different.
Yeah, so they're essentially an idol group with like a really awesome metal band backing them.
Yeah.
And they've become like...
They've become an icon.
Well, they're iconic in a sense because they're playing festivals all over the world now.
They're the biggest Japanese group in the world.
Really?
I remember reading somewhere. It's just how many metal people just love.
Man.
I'm not sure if that would be true because I think maybe Perfume might be bigger.
I reckon Baby Metal are bigger than Perfume.
Yeah, they got more international appeal.
Because Triple J, mainstream radio, semi-mainstream radio in Australia, they play Baby Metal.
Yeah?
So, and regularly, like, Baby Metal is in the hottest 100 or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people like Baby Metal, man.
Yeah,
so,
I love how much the metal community has embraced. Because like at a time there was a lot of like elitist metal guys.
Yeah, it's just trash.
who were
Yeah,
just like, this is like commercial shit. But then a lot of the metal artists that they collaborated with, they're like, nah, man, like these girls are cool. And I think it's because they have the J-pop sound, but they lean into their heavy sound like really well.
yeah, and I think it's because their band as well are like made up of really talented musos.
Yeah.
Like the three girls? Is there three girls? Yeah, there's three girls.
It's two now. One of them left.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, so if the if the manufactured portion left, people would still listen to that band, the Baby Metal band, because it's just like it's really actually catchy metal music. Like aside from the fact that there's three idol girls singing the lyrics.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to take it back to, when we were talking about Band-Maid and how we kind of classified them as kawaii metal. I think when I think of Band-Maid, I don't really think of that sound because their lead singer sings in a pretty regular manner, I guess.
It's not embellished with like this kawaii sound.
And they don't have a lot of electronica. Like the typical, they don't have the typical DDR sound that maybe you might find in Baby Metal.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just kind of like, it's more hard rock than metal.
But it's more the image, right? They're all dressed as like submissive maids.
There's obviously some form of a symbolism or text that they're saying.
It's a bit sad that like they can't actually. I'm not sure if Band-Maid are manufactured or.
Oh no! The leads. I think that's the one who started it was Miku. I think she's like the sub vocalist, but she's like
she plays guitar.
Yeah, she's the one that like does most of the talking. Like she was just working in a maid cafe one day, and then I think. I don't remember the reason, but she's like, "Oh, I want to start like a heavy band."
Yeah.
And then so she kind of chose that image for them.
Right.
So she actually genuinely likes dressing up as a maid and being like kind of the cutesy maid on stage.
Yeah.
Whereas the other band members were kind of a bit more reluctant to do that.
Yeah, we just want to be like a fucking rock band. Yeah.
But I think because they kind of own it.
Yeah, they do.
Well, and it's just like, it's just
and the music is good too. I think that makes a big difference. If the music was kind of shit, like it'd be really obvious that like these girls were like kind of put together. Yeah.
So I think they're given some pretty free creative reign on their music. So they've definitely got a sound. I think
they sound great. Yeah.
Their very first album was a lot more like forgettable J-rock, and then it took maybe like 2 albums and then they got their sound. And it's like,
they're legitimately quite popular amongst people who like rock, quote unquote, like rock music, heavy music. They're like, these girls actually have a really good sound. Their mixing is great. They're not just like a manufactured. I think because that's the apprehension with bands like Baby Metal, right? Yeah. Where it's like, do these girls actually really like metal music? And like, I think it's got to the point where it's like, maybe it doesn't even matter at this point because the band backing them is awesome. The kawaii metal thing is very much a post 2010 thing.
Yeah. There's a few kawaii metal-esque bands. I think there's one with the, do you know, I forgot, he's called like Lady Beard or something. And he's like the Aussie dude. This really tank Aussie guy who dresses up as a maid. And he did like some songs with these 2 other girls. And it was like metal songs. And they were not bad, but it was definitely like way more gimmicky.
Yeah. I think dressing up and like putting makeup on and like, is very Japanese inherently.
Yeah.
And I think like prior to Baby Metal and like Band-Maid and stuff like that, you had like so many other bands that were like putting a lot of fucking makeup on.
You're talking about like Visual K.
Pretty much, yeah. Visual K bands, like,
I have a friend who's really into Visual K.
Yeah. Well,
I wonder if she's listening to this, but like she was.
Can you explain what it is, just to people who don't really know what Visual K is?
Visual K. Basically, it's like K-pop boy bands who play metal rock, who kind of look like vampires.
Yeah, it's
they
very
put
much
on a lot of makeup.
categorized by like the look more so than the music, right? It's like they've all got like heavy makeup. They all look like goths essentially. Yeah.
I think that's the earliest. Like to me, that's the earliest form of Japanese metal I can think of, because I remember seeing like Visual K, like the image of Visual K. But I didn't really listen to them.
K-E-I for people who want to fucking Google it.
Visual K, K-E-I. Yeah. It would have been fun to go to one of their gigs. Apparently, they're pretty involved.
Well, I can imagine. It's weird because this was really big in like the new metal era. So I guess as new metal was happening in like the States with Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, Disturbed, Deftones, and all that kind of stuff, you had Japan who were like kind of doing the same thing, but with like shitloads of makeup.
It's got a little bit more of like a poppy sound, I think.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some like heavier dudes.
It's heavy music when you think about it. You got bands like Rise. Maximum the Hormone.
Maximum the Hormone aren't Visual K though.
Yeah, they're not Visual K, but they at the time they were very big.
2007. That was because when Death Note came out.
There was also that other band who are still around now, but really big at the time, called Dear and Grey.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, they're pretty popular.
They're kind of the archetypal kind of Visual K band.
Yeah.
They came up. I think they debuted like around the year 2000.
Yeah,
and it was really heavy shit. Yeah, like if you listen to any of the of Dear and Grey shit now, it's just like fuck this is heavy stuff.
Yeah,
but like at the same time, it's kind of gimmicky because they look like clowns. Yeah.
Wasn't there's like that he was a lead singer of one of the bands. His name was like Gact or something.
that rings a bell. But
Gackt. Yeah, I remember listening to his stuff when I was in high school when I was trying to get into some like more like J metal stuff. But bring it back a bit earlier when we were talking about Crossfaith. I remember the first time I heard Crossfaith, I just linked it to you, man. And I don't even remember how I discovered them, but like, dude, man, check this shit out. This shit is fucking... This shit looks rough. And like, they had a track called like Jaeger Bomb, and this is when we were drinking... Probably way a bit too much when we were drinking like karaoke.
Yeah.
I think we drank like an average of 18 or 20 shots every time we went to karaoke.
Yeah. I would say this is peak partying days.
Yeah,
for sure.
peak partying days.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And yeah, we weren't listening to hip hop. We were listening to fucking Crossfaith.
Yeah, Crossfaith. Yeah.
They're still around doing great. Yeah. Amazing band. This is also a very common theme of Japanese metal bands. They're Japanese, but they sing in English.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Crystal Lake, as you mentioned.
Crystal Lake, Band-Maid.
Band-Maid is mostly Japanese. BABYMETAL is mostly Japanese too.
It's like a weird hybrid though, yeah? I think it's just really common for it's weird, like... So I listen to metal bands from all over Asia, right?
Yeah.
There's a band from Vietnam I listen to called Windwalkers.
Windrunner.
Windrunner, yes, sorry.
I was listening to their latest album on the way here, man. It's fucking sick.
It's really good, but they really also sing in English.
You wouldn't even like put Asian in front of their name.
You wouldn't know they were fucking Vietnamese.
It's just like metal groove. It's fucking
There's
awesome.
another... It's weird because like Korean music is heavily associated with K-pop, right?
Yeah.
But there's also Korean... I don't even call them... They're like a hard rock metal band called Mesgram.
Yeah, I listen to Mesgram a lot. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. Like it's they probably wouldn't make it like in the Western kind of things. It's very basic kind of music.
It's kind of like metalcore with a little bit of pop.
Yeah, there's a screamo dude and there's a good looking girl that sings.
Yeah, there's a very good looking girl.
There's a good looking girl that sings cleans.
Yeah,
which is like a winning formula in Western kind of metal, really.
Yeah, I think I got into them when I listened to I think they did a cover of Amity Affliction, which I don't actually listen to that much. I forgot.
Amity Affliction are pretty average.
What was this? Oh, I forgot the name of the song that they did a cover.
Yeah, but Amity Affliction are really big.
They did a cover, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Miss Graham are like, they're really good at kind of gateway metal band, right?
Yeah, they're not very heavy. There's as you said, like there's cleans, and then there's
a screamo guy, and there's a good-looking girl that sings cleans. It's like very palatable.
It's very like
Yeah. It's a shame. I don't know exactly how well they're doing. I'd imagine it'd be very tough for a band like that to break through in Korea.
I think they're the most popular. They're one of the more popular Korean rock groups, but they're still very underground.
It's legitimately like there's metal elements though.
Yeah,
especially with their newer stuff.
I think the first Korean rock band that I got into was a band called Trax, Trax, and they're from SM.
Oh, actually, it rings a bell vaguely.
And they had a pretty not heavy, but in comparison to other Korean stuff, heavier sound than most. And I remember listening to them in high school actually, and I was showing some friends these guys are pretty cool. And then back in the day when you sit on the bus and you share earphones. And then they're like, oh, it's weird, they're singing in Korean.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, they're Korean band. So, But they became a bit more poppy. And I think most of them have gone their separate ways. But I think the lead person is still part of SM, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they're one of the first Korean rock bands. And there's honestly not too much. I honestly can't think of any Korean metal bands at the moment.
I can't think of any Korean metal bands. I
don't think
it's weird because the scene is compared to other countries in Asia. The scene is quite small. You got to think about it that way. In Japan, metal's massive. In Taiwan, metal's massive.
Yeah.
In I think actually in Southeast Asia, metal is quite big, and rock music is quite big in Southeast Asia. We grew up listening to Thai rock. Our parents, potato, fucking
body slam
and shit. Yeah, but this is Thai pop rock. There's heaps of underground metal and hard rock that's out there because they just like that kind of music. They like playing in bands. Like a lot of our uncles played in bands and
Yeah.
Just thinking about it now, uncles played in bands, and they just like that kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I think in Korea, when you it's not a thought for young people to want to start a band. They'd rather become an idol, right?
Yeah. I guess the sound is a bit more palatable because it's I guess I don't know. The metal thing is, as you said, it might be a bit rough for a lot of most of the Asian sentiments. Not really related to the Asian thing, but metal has got a lot of different subgenres. Yeah, what kind of metal do you usually gravitate to? Because for me, I usually go for the groove metal or progressive metal, or a bit of gent. And some metal core.
Yeah.
What are your kind of metal?
I think I probably gravitate more to what people would deem the post-hardcore sound.
The post-hardcore
which is kind of categorized by really heavy, the music side of things, really heavy music with screaming vocals, but also melodic elements.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the post-hardcore vibe. It was really big during probably between 2015 and now. But now it's probably transitioning more to I think it's weird because heavy music went through this transition where everyone was trying to get more as technical and heavy as they could. Yeah. Whereas now people are kind of going back to the let's just make music sound good again.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, any other genre, it's quite cyclical. But I'm quite open. I think in my aspects, I do a melodic side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't listen to music that is just screaming.
Yeah,
That's a lie. I can appreciate music that's just like Crossfaith is just screaming a lot of the time.
But you like the contrast of like cleans.
Yeah, cleans and like
screaming.
and like unclean vocals.
Cleans and uncleans. Yeah, I like that too. I can appreciate like just screaming. I think when I was growing up, I appreciated the just screaming more. But like these days, I've kind of mellowed out a bit. And I actually, I would say much of my musical rock tastes in terms of Asian rock music tends to lean towards like the more like shoegazy vibe.
Yeah.
Recently,
Softer
I've been
stuff,
listening to a band called Yuragi, which is pretty cool. They're kind of like explosions in the sky, but with a female lead singer.
What do you even call that genre? Like prog rock?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, progressive rock. Yeah. I mentioned these girls a couple of times.
Explosions in the sky, like legends. Yeah.
Listen to Hitsujin Bangaku. I think I linked you one of their songs.
Maybe.
And they're like they're not heavy, but they're like rock. It's like it's very like alternative shoegaze.
Yeah. I think that it's common. Like it's weird. We're talking about Asian metal, right?
Yeah.
But when you go through the subgenres, there's so many awesome bands in Asia.
Yeah.
Like I think like over dinner I was talking to you about TOE, which is like a Japanese math rock band who I don't know, they're like the Beatles of modern math rock, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people actually think of them as like a really kind of landmark band for that sound. Math rock, I don't know. Math rock, to explain it to...
Yeah, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like indie rock with complexity to its sound. It's kind of like progressive indie rock.
Yeah. I guess like the poster child of that sound that comes to my head is like Dance Gavin Dance.
Yeah, but that's got like vocals, right? Yeah. Whereas like Toe are completely like instrumental.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're completely instrumental. They have a very post-rocky indie kind of sound. But I guess it's categorized by like the typical math rock tropes of weird type signatures, weird rhythms and stuff like that. Great to listen to. Check him out if you like. I mean, instead of listening to lo-fi hip hop while studying, chuck on some Toe. Yeah. That might be a cool vibe.
No, I definitely would want to check them out. Something I've noticed when I listen to when I discover a lot of these bands, like I was listening to a band called The Winking Owl, and they're kind of like more like it's a pretty funny name. They're kind of like more emo, alternative pop rock. They say they had a lot of their sounds influenced by like a lot of post-hardcore stuff. But it's very easy to listen to.
Yeah, there's a lot of cleans.
It's all cleans. There's no screaming. And it's almost like not metal, but it's still like pretty good listen.
But I mean, like a band like Methgram, right? It's not metal a lot of the time. It's like hard rock, right?
Yeah. But I think like when I was listening to The Winking Owl, and I was these guys are pretty cool, and their lead singer is like Japanese Romanian, so she sings in Japanese and English. But like she left the band in 2020, and they've been hiatus recently. But there's been a number of other bands that I've discovered. I'm like, these guys are pretty cool, and then I find out they're split up, or this person has left and they're on hiatus, and it's like. It just kind of shows how hard it is to make it in the industry with that sound, because there's not a big reach like outside of Japan for these bands. And I think like one of the big reasons I wanted to do this podcast is we're not obviously we're not fucking Joe Rogan, but we like to be able to give like a voice to a lot of these really great musicians whose career is quite ephemeral, because then they'll just end up being like salary people, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of want to talk about these bands. Yeah.
Even here in Australia, where like metal is like regarded, like people like regard Australia as one of the best countries for metal music.
No, I definitely say that.
Yeah. a lot of the people that play in metal bands here have to work second jobs. Yeah. So I can't imagine being in Asia trying to make it big as a metal band. It'd be really tough. And to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm just going to be happy playing in this band part-time forever. Yeah. Yeah, and on that topic, I've read this article. I forget which website I've read it on, but it was like the headline of the article was heavy metal too loud for China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was it was very similar to what you're saying in the sense that like there's a really strong undertone of metal love in China, but they're not allowed to show it kind of like openly just because of the way the state perceives the music as quite rebellious. And like, I think one of the lines in the article actually mentioned that it's like unsafe because of like the wall of death and like moshing and all that kind of stuff. The article touched on like all these metal gigs and festivals being cancelled by the government. Like they're essentially not getting permits for like events because like the government doesn't deem the events like safe. But there's obviously like there's a fucking agenda there because metal is like seen as like quite in line with what they perceive as the Chinese image of music.
I remember when I was working on my short film for uni, and I wanted risky. We wanted to make like a rock song for the credits.
Yeah,
and I'm like, think of it as like a Chinese punk song. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't even exist in China.
I don't suspect that the punk genre existed in Japan. Oh, sorry, China.
So when we actually made the song, me and Risky were like, this is China's first punk song.
Yeah, fucking Beijing calling, man.
Beijing calling. Yeah, like, look, I mean, you know, I don't necessarily agree with that kind of censorship. And let's not just say just for China in general, but just like, I would say not allowing people to express whatever emotion that they have with metal and whatever, you know, primal instinct, whether it's a wall of death or whatever. It's kind of suppressing it. And it's going to like, it's going to explode. Like people are going to be like,
people are going to get pissed off. Yeah.
I like when they will come across that emotion of like anger and rage, they're not going to know how to process it. And then it's just going to be, they'll be drawn to it.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to fucking let loose. Yeah.
Also with a thing like the wall of death. Yeah. Or like a mosh pit or a circle pit. Yeah.
I want to see how you motherfuckers turn right now.
Yeah. Well, when people think of that stuff, it's kind of like quite primitive and like aggressive, and like to someone who's never been to one of these gigs, it's like quite fucking intimidating, right? But once you're there, you realize that like once you're in there and you get knocked down, or like there's always someone in the pit to pick you up.
Yeah.
Like,
I think most people in those pits know. Like,
of course,
like, I mean, we've seen people who've broken their ribs. Like, oh, my fucking ribs.
I've lost valuables.
Yeah. But it is really quite an experience. And like, you would never, I think you would never understand just watching it.
No.
Like from a concert.
Exactly, yeah. I just found it interesting that it's not surprising because it's China, right? Like, they're trying to kind of suppress like creativity.
Well, hope you haven't booked tickets to China anytime soon.
Well,
but it's true. Yeah,
it's like no one's going to argue with me in regards to that. Even Chinese people, to be honest. And I mean, yeah, it's a really good article. I think anybody who's interested in the topic that we've just spoken about should check it out. It's called Heavy Metal, Too Loud for China. But it also touches on the metal bands that exist there at the moment and how they kind of got their start basically by like listening to like audio tapes from America, like quite like covertly.
Yeah.
So it's like we listened to like fucking Slipknot or like fucking even like this is back in the 80s. So I didn't even know what would have been like classified like Divergent back then. I don't know, like Bon Jovi or whatever.
Bon Jovi's too.
On Rammstein or something. But even though they're not American, they're like European. Yeah. But like
Austrian actually.
Yeah. So like they were listening to like metal covertly on like cassette tapes back then, and the community is so fucking small, and for the government to like say you can't do this, it's like it's just a bit sad,
That's
right?
a little bit 1984, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit 1984, and like the fact that it's not even fucking mainstream in China, like you know what I mean? If you're into metal in China, it's just like it's a bit different.
Do you think it's a bit different in the West these days?
No.
I don't know. You don't see a lot of.
Actually, it's not mainstream, but it's not different. People aren't going to be like, that guy's like, that guy's really like Divergent.
Like there's still a thing about. I mean, especially with music these days. Like metal does not really thrive at all.
Yeah. There's a handful of bands that are like the headliners, right? Yeah. And they're not even playing like Rod Laver Arena. They're playing like.
Do you remember when there was a few Grammys back when the band that won the best rock metal album was Led Zeppelin for a concert?
Oh yeah.
And it was like that was the year when I think Deftones came out.
With like,
this was 2012. They came out with Koi no Yokan.
Oh yeah.
And it was like one of my favorite albums. I'm like, really? Like there's no shade against Led Zeppelin, but they basically won a Grammy for music they had released years ago, but played a live version of. Whereas like I think Deftones are one of the greatest bands. Like they're in my like top 5 for sure.
They're easily one of the best metal bands of all time, and like easily like anybody who's talking about metal bands post 90s. If you're not putting Deftones in the list, like you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Deftones is like highbrow metal.
It's highbrow, but they're also quite mainstream at the same time. But like, I mean, that's another conversation altogether. But like the mainstream, that's just a sign, right? Even though that happened with the Led Zeppelin thing, like the metal community didn't really give that much of a shit.
Yeah,
because
it's the Grammys. No,
it's the Grammys,
shit,
exactly. It's like it's mainstream. I think like a part of metal music. Part of the appeal of the community and the people that listen to it is the fact that they know that they're not the mainstream. If that kind of makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes I'm conflicted about it because when I listen to a lot of these like great Japanese rock bands and great, especially recently, I'm just like, I wish these groups had more success. And it's not like I want them to be like fully in the mainstream. It's more or less like I don't want these bands to split up because they can't get enough of a fan base outside of Japan. And it's like I wish I could hear more music from these people. There's all these artists who just like leave. Some kill themselves. Like I discovered this Taiwanese alternative rock band called No Party for Kaldong. And it's like, they're making like some pretty cool music. Then I found out that one of their drummer like died in 2020 because of COVID, and they just had to cancel. They're kind of just swimming in hiatus now because of that. Or like, this other, I forgot their name, but like one of these other bands, like one of the lead guitarists like killed themselves. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, like that's it, they split up. And it's just like, it's. I wish it was just enough support for them to not split up and not, end their lives. Yeah. It's tough.
It's not where the money is, sadly, right?
Yeah, no. You got to be like a Billie Eilish.
Or even like, I don't know, like
a Harry Styles.
Or even from an Asian perspective, like a Blank Pick who's getting like, how many fucking streams did they get in like 2 days?
Oh.
Like millions upon I think they broke the all-time record for streams.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I don't even know. But when you're getting that much fucking revenue from like streams alone, and then there's all that other, they've all got endorsement deals, each of them. Bands. I can tell you that the fucking rhythm guitarist of this J-rock band hasn't got a fucking endorsement deal with like Cartier.
No. I guess like I'm always going to go for more of the artistic side of things. I think that's just who I am now. So it's kind of like, I wish people would kind of, or companies would focus less on that.
Yeah.
Even though I know like at the end of the day, like a lot of it's making money. It's like bottom line. But like I wish there was a bit more of a balance of that, where like making just enough money so you can like be happy and do what you want to do. Yeah, but
that's not it.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's
not
not
how
it.
the world works.
It's
That's
not.
why I'm always a poor asshole.
But I guess
all the
like
time.
doing podcasts like this, right? Like we'll hopefully get people to listen to these bands that we like. We actually really like a lot of these bands.
Oh, definitely.
We fucking love a lot of these bands, and they bring us a lot of entertainment and joy.
Yeah,
and like we've seen a lot of these bands like live as well. So it's like, come on, like there's more to Asian music out there than K-pop and J-pop, I guess, and sea ballads.
Well, me and Dan aren't really helping that by covering pretty much only K-pop as music so far, which is why I wanted to take a break from that for a bit.
Yeah, at the same time, you guys gotta get views.
we had to find a compromise. Dan and I just so happily enjoy drinking alcohol and watching K-pop.
Yeah,
so that's the compromise.
K-pop is. We're not fucking K-pop shaming here. We're just trying to notify everybody that there's other really good music out there from another genre, from Asia.
Yeah, from Asia. Yeah, I think so.
And it's worth a listen to. I think a good way to probably end this is probably to tell people some bands that might be like a good gateway. Kind of like metal or
good
rock
gateway,
band.
good rock metal gateway. Yeah.
Mesgram would probably be a really good one.
Mesgram would be good.
So they're Korean.
Band-Maid is actually pretty accessible.
Band-Maid?
I would say so. BABYMETAL would be like the most universal one.
BABYMETAL, well known, but it's quite heavy music. So you might not be super into like the actual tunes. But bands like Mesgram and Band-Maid, there's pop elements.
These guys aren't really metal, but Polka Dot Stingray.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
They're really cool. I've been listening to them for a long time now. They just came out with a new album.
And I mean, like, all your anime music that you listen to.
Yeah, Asian Kung Fu Generation.
Yeah, and more recently, fucking one of those guys called from Attack on Titan, Sim?
What, Sim? Yeah, the rumbling.
Oh, yeah, dude, that shit blew my mind.
That theme song's awesome.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, there's still an appreciation for metal out there. Yeah. Clearly, they're using Sim in, like, arguably the biggest anime in the world. Arguably.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and you're putting a band like Sim front and center in the theme song, and it's metal. It's fucking gent. Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because like Japan kind of values rock and metal more than the West do.
Yeah.
Because you see it in a lot of, just thinking about it now, you see it a lot more in the anime intros.
Yeah.
Like if you think of Demon Slayer's intro of season 1, it's like a rock.
It's a rock song too, yeah.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Asian Kung Fu Generation. And then there's bands like One OK Rock who are massive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've talked about them. Fucking hell. Yeah, they're a good gateway group, I reckon.
Yeah, the earlier stuff for sure.
Yeah.
The newer stuff is just like pop rock, basically.
Yeah, it's a bit more poppy.
Yeah, but like if you listen to like their all Japanese albums, crazy. Oh, the beginning, Kenshin, crazy.
Yeah. That takes us back to karaoke days.
That's just like 10 years old now. It's hard to believe, yeah?
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, anyways. Getting all nostalgic on you guys.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can wrap it up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to do this segment more regularly. Maybe we can listen to like an album and then just talk about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Or analyze it, do like a listen party,
there's plenty of,
do a reaction.
There's plenty of good metal music out there.
I don't know what I'd call this segment yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Album review, single review, whatever.
Yeah.
Point is, listen to more Asian music besides the pop genre.
Yeah, listen to more than just BTS.
Who are they?
Yeah. But yeah, no. Hopefully, we'll be back with another segment like this. This is a fun topic. This is kind of just the broad strokes. We might hone it in next time. But yeah, you got any final words?
Yeah.
Any bands that you think?
Yeah, please shoot us some requests. Not requests, like suggestions in terms of bands, because we're always looking for. Thavy and I we're always looking for new music, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking for the next Twice song. But
okay.
I'm also
fair enough. Like, they're good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thanks for listening, guys. Yeah, hopefully we'll be back with another segment like this sometime in the future.
Horns up. See you later.
Yep. See ya.